After taking a bite of the dinner I cooked, my husband put down his fork. With a loud sigh, he said coldly to me,
You at least cook something decent.
"What?" But I had to work late today, and I made it after I got home.
The quality is low. I don't know who you think you're making a living off of.
My husband snickered in disgust and proceeded to eat his dishes, propping himself up on his elbows. I came home tired from work and even prepared dinner. What is this life worth? Somewhere in the back of my mind, I had always believed that he would return to the way he used to be when I loved him. But that hope is now gone. There is no need to waste any more of my life. I had to make a last resort. I finally decided to take revenge on my husband. My name is Haley, 27 years old. After graduating from college, I have been working for a major electronics manufacturer. As it is a major company, the employment examination was very tough. But it was worth the effort, and I have no complaints about the treatment. In fact, it is more than enough. I got married 2 months ago. My husband is Roger, who was in the same college. I had not been in a relationship with him since our college days. We started dating after graduation when we got together for drinks at a party of our classmates. We hit it off because we both liked anime and movies. We didn't go anywhere far on our regular dates, but watched various movies at each other's homes. If he has similar interests, I am sure we will have a happy life after marriage. Our relationship progressed quickly, and on my 27th birthday, he proposed to me. Since both of our parents lived far away from each other, we did not have a meeting, and on our second anniversary of dating, we registered our marriage. At the time, almost no one around me was married, and I was buoyed. I thought that from now on, I would have happy days with the person I love. At the time, I had no idea that such expectations would be so easily smashed. It was 1 week after our marriage when things changed suddenly. When I returned home, my husband was already lying on the sofa in his loungewear. In his hand was a can of beer, and on the desk was a spread of snacks he had probably bought at a store. "Roger, you're home early today, aren't you?" Immediately after I casually said that, my husband said something I had never imagined.
Yeah, I've quit.
"What? You quit? What?"
What do you mean, I quit the company?
Wait a minute. I don't understand. What are you talking about?
So, I've quit my job, you know. I'm going to be unemployed from tomorrow.
What? I was so shocked that I couldn't get the words out. As I stood there, my husband continued talking to me with a smirk on his face.
Don't be so surprised. It's okay for us to quit my job, isn't it?
How can it be okay? Why haven't you asked me about it? Normally, you would have to discuss such things before making a decision, right?
If I had consulted you, you would have said no for sure, wouldn't you? That's why I didn't tell you.
What's that? But that doesn't mean you're just going to quit without telling me.
Anyway, it's already done. We can live on Haley's money, can't we?
Oh, no. After finishing what he wanted to say, my husband turned his gaze back to the TV again and began to enjoy his drink. He was laughing out loud while watching cartoons, and I could no longer help but feel bewildered. Why in the world would he suddenly quit his job? Isn't this kind of thing usually decided after discussing it with the couple? Or maybe there's some circumstance that he can't say. Maybe my husband is worried about something. I thought so, but from what I saw at home, it didn't seem that way. So, after observing my husband for a few days, I decided to boldly ask him, "Hey, Roger, why did you quit your job?"
What is it, suddenly, are you that interested?
"I'm not interested. I just want to know what was bothering Roger."
What was bothering me?
"Relationships, the nature of my work. You quit because something was bothering you and you couldn't take it anymore." Use as soft a tone of voice as possible to avoid irritating him as much as possible. But despite my concern, my husband began to giggle and laugh out loud.
I can't take it anymore. What's that? I'm not that sick.
"What, then why? Why did you suddenly quit your job?"
Because I married you. You work for a big company and have a good income. Then there's no problem if I don't work, right?
"You're kidding. No way, that's really the reason."
Of course. What do you think I married you for? To make my life easier.
Oh, no. The unexpected and cruel reality makes my vision wobble and I feel like falling down. Seeing me like that, he just laughed at me. After that, there was no sign of my husband returning to work, and we just spent lazy days at home. He did not do any housework despite he was home, but just played video games and watched cartoons. I became frustrated with his lifestyle and my dissatisfaction grew. We had been married for 2 months and he would not return to work or even go for a job interview. My anger at him finally reached its limit. As soon as I came home from work and saw the messy room, I unconsciously said to myself, "What is this? How can it be this messy when I cleaned it up this morning?"
What? That's the first thing you say when you get home. You're such a charmless bitch.
Are you in a position to say such a thing? This is my house, after all.
What? This house is just a rental.
My husband is right. We certainly did not purchase the apartment. We are just renting it. However, the name of the renter is me, not my husband. It is not incorrect to say that it is my house. I have lived in this apartment since I was a bachelor, and my husband moved into the apartment when we got married. He quit his job shortly thereafter, so he never pays rent or utilities, and I provide all the money we need to live. This is not the kind of couple I had envisioned. It is as if I am working just to support my selfish husband. I was so angry that I told him off. "If you continue to be unemployed any longer, I will ask you to leave." 1,000, no, at least put $500 in the house every month. If you can't, you'll have to leave.
Are you serious?
Of course I'm serious. I didn't marry you to support you. When I told him that clearly, he looked somewhat displeased and started playing with his phone. He would indeed be in trouble if he was kicked out of the house penniless. A few days later, my husband started working on something on the computer at home. At first I thought he was just playing around, but apparently he was doing some work at home. The next month, he was given $300, saying that he had just started. 2 months later, he started giving me $500 as requested. I was amazed at my husband's energy and reaffirmed that he can do it if he tries. However, perhaps I only think so because he was unemployed for a long time. Isn't it a problem there for a married, healthy adult male to earn only $1,000 a month? No matter how much more income one have, we can't afford to do so if I think about my children in the future. So I waited until my husband's work had stabilized and began to talk to him. "Hey, Roger, now that you've gotten into the habit of working, why don't you look for a new job?"
What? You can see I'm working from home now, can't you?
No, I mean, Roger's work-from-home job doesn't come with any benefits, does it? Then why don't you take advantage of your skills and work for such a company?
Shut up. I make $1,000 a month. You got a problem with that?
Yeah. I couldn't believe my ears when my husband said that. How else could someone be so overbearing with only $1,000? Certainly, I appreciate the fact that he started from zero and took action. But before that, he quit his job on his own and had been unemployed for 2 months. Even now, he pays only $500, which is less than our rent. And yet, this attitude is too arrogant. Just the other day, when I came home from working late, my husband was on the sofa playing video games. I prepared dinner for him with a tired body, but after just one bite, he said,
You at least cook something decent.
"What?" But I had to work late today, and I made it after I got home.
The quality is low. I don't know who you think you're making a living off of.
What the hell? You can't talk like that.
My mom used to make better dishes. She managed the family finances very well. She was very different from you.
He lived at home until he got married. He was putting a certain amount of money into the house for living expenses, but since his parents own the house, he probably did not realize how much rent and utilities cost each month.
I put $500 in the house for you.
When he raises his voice like that, I felt foolish to talk back to him. After an argument, my husband said something like this.
You know what? The only reason you're making a living right now is because I'm making you money again. You should be more grateful to me, you parasite.
A parasite? You mean me?
Who else is there? I'm giving you $500 so you can maintain your current lifestyle. Do you understand that, you fool?
At that moment, I felt something cool down in me. It was the moment I decided that there was no way to save him and gave up on my husband. Am I going to live like this for the rest of my life? With this man who makes only $1,000 and is overbearing and taking me for a fool? What a waste of time. I don't want to waste my life in this place. I looked straight at my husband and said, "Well, I'm leaving. Didn't I just say I should be grateful to you? You just called me a parasite. I don't appreciate you and I don't want to be a parasite."
Hey, you're getting on my nerves. You think you can do that? Do you even know where you stand?
I know, Roger, but do you understand your position? If I leave, it means you will have to live in this house by yourself. Then my husband turned his smirking gaze on me and said with a winning attitude,
I'm so happy with it. A woman like you only cares about money, makes me exhausted to live with.
"All I care about is money." That's my line. Who originally quit his job? It was because you were counting on my income, wasn't it?
Look, you're talking about money again. Haven't you forgotten what I'm earning now?
How can you talk so high and mighty when you only bring home $500 every month?
Stop complaining and get out of here. I'll take this house if you don't live here.
His words suddenly made me think of a good idea. Until just a few minutes ago, I hope he regrets the inconvenience of my leaving. That's what I thought. But not now. This method could be the best revenge, or so I thought. I immediately contacted the management company and told them I wanted to change the name. Then they told me that I could do the procedure online, and I explained it to my husband. I will give you the house as you wish. In exchange, will you change the name of the house to yours?
Yeah, sure, as long as you don't change your mind. I won't let you in the house even if you come back here.
And the utility contract. If it's too much trouble, I'll take care of it.
Suit yourself, and this house will be completely mine. Go outside and cool off for a while. and then come back after you've reflected properly, okay?
Ignoring his repeated statements that he seemed to have plenty of time to spare, I packed my bags and left the house. We will never live together again, though, will we? I held back the urge to say so, and headed for a certain place. The destination was my sister's house. I decided to be indebted by my sister, who lived alone, until I could find a new place to live. 2 weeks later, I had successfully found a new house and returned to the house I had been living in with my husband for the first time in several weeks. Along with the movers, I came to pick up the furniture and appliances that had been placed there. When I pressed the intercom, my husband appeared with a victorious look on his face.
You're finally home.
Ignoring his condescending look at us, I invite the movers inside. All the furniture and appliances here, please.
Oh, all of them.
Yes. All. It's a bit much, but yes.
I understood.
The movers are moving furniture and appliances out of the house to the truck outside, one after another. My husband, confronted with this scene, came up to me with an impatient look on his face.
Oh, hey, what are you doing?
What do you mean, moving? I've already found a new place to live. I'm taking all my furniture and appliances with me.
Don't be silly. You can leave on your own, but I will not allow you to take anything from this house.
Why? This was my house to begin with. I bought everything here when I was single.
What?
Sweat broke out on my husband's forehead as he finally remembered an important fact. To him, I folded it up even more. You do realize, we didn't get this house for free, right?
I know that, but with this floor plan, it wouldn't cost me more than $500 at most.
The rent here is $1,080. If you include utilities, food, and daily necessities, I'd estimate that the monthly cost was at least a little under $2,000.
$2,000? Are you kidding me? My parents lived in a house, but I always had only $500. in the house.
That's just your parents being indulgent. Besides, since they own the house, they don't have to pay rent. All they have to pay for is food and utilities, so maybe $500 was okay, then?
Oh, no.
This must have been a shock to my husband, who had been living comfortably at home before our marriage. That's why he was so pompous with his $1,000 income. Now he seemed so small, so different. As the movers proceeded with their work, my husband mumbled, "This is a lie, what should I do?" and suddenly grabbed me by the shoulders.
Haley, you've already found a new place, haven't you? Let's live together there.
What? What are you talking about?
I can't live here alone. That's what I've come to realize. I need Haley.
What are you talking about now? I'm just a parasite to you, aren't I?
No, I don't think that way anymore. That's why.
Even in a situation like this, he continues to beg instead of apologize. I can feel how much all he cares about is his own self-preservation. I felt a surge of anger that I had almost forgotten about, as I faced my husband's deplorable behavior. The next thing I knew, I was shaking off his hand and saying wildly, "Enough. Live with you? Are you kidding me? Who would live with a piece of shit like you? You've put yourself on the shelf and disrespected me. Don't you dare talk to me like that now."
Haley, calm down.
Huh? Calm down? You say that? Whose fault is it that you got into this mess? Scum like you who quit your job relying on your wife's income should go to hell. Don't be so bullheaded with only $1,000 earned. Now you realize how worthless you are. I took out the divorce papers from my bag and presented them to my husband. When he saw that the papers had already been filled out, he did not say anything back, but instead wrote the divorce papers with a weak pressure. pressure of his pen. After that, our divorce was finalized. Of course, there was no way he could continue to live in that apartment, and he was forced to move out after only about 2 months. Next, he moved to a shabby apartment, but there was no way he could live on only $1,000. He borrowed money to pay for the move, so now he is working part-time jobs in addition to working from home and living on the edge. He got what he deserved. Suck it up. I, on the other hand, am living a fulfilling life in my new home. I don't have the bad feelings I used to have, so I can spend my time with a relaxed mind. Fortunately, I was able to get divorced soon, so I did not waste my life that much. If I meet a good person again in the future, I would like to properly judge the person and be happy next time.